there's this thing I have in my mind. I can give you money if I have the money to spare, but if you ask me, the moment you ask me to loan you money, there is no way I am going to be so willing to give the money away to you as a gift, because in my mind it is a loan and we had an agreement. You are going to pay it back and I expect to get it back. And I will not in any way allow you to guilt trip me with our friendship to give up on that money, no matter the amount or no matter how much more money I have acquired over the time. If you have money or spent money, which almost all of us do, then you have also been in the situation where you have had to lend money to a friend or family, or to be in the position of being the one who is being lent money. Now, there may also be some lucky few who have never had to lend money or to be lent from. If you watched my previous video, then you might have learned that I spoke about 5 things you can do when lending money to people. You can check that out after this video, or it's okay if you don't. And to the points I raised in that video, some people may say setting the due date, the reminders, and making the payment plan will still strain your relationship with your friends or family in ways that you did not imagine. You might even be pushed to start judging your friends when they tell you about their plans for their next birthday or what they are doing for the weekend, and all you can think about is how they are owing you money and they are not saying anything about it. Sometimes we are lucky enough to have friends and family members who adhere to the plans, the payment plans that are made when it comes to borrowing money, and they faithfully prioritize paying back the money in full. Some may even be so kind as to cover the charges that were incurred by the lender and to pay back a little more because they know that you might have lost some interest on the money if you had used it for investments or even for your personal activities. Now, the issue is with those friends and family who have almost made it a habit, or should I say a trend, where they borrow money from you and they do not pay back, and they almost behave like the transaction or that conversation never even took place. The question we are asking today of people who borrow money without paying back is it that they do not care at all for the people who, out of the kindness and consideration of their hearts, give you the money, or what? Because the thing is that when money is lent to friends and family, it is not that the lender has no use for the money and they just want to give it out. You asked for the money as a loan and they saw that you are in a situation where you need the money more than they do at the moment, that you will have a better use of the money than they do, and they can afford to let it go for some time, so they give it to you and you agree on some repayment terms. For most people lending money to friends and family, they do not mind if it takes months or even maybe years for you to repay back, so far as they know your situation and they understand you. All they need is for you to give them the assurance that I know I have taken this money, I know we agreed on these dates, but I am still having difficulties, so I am doing everything in my power to pay you back. It's just that it isn't working out for me as well as I hoped it will. I was on Twitter lately, I mean X, and I saw a few X's. I saw a few tweets from people on how to navigate friends or family asking for loan, and I'm going to read them out to you. So, we have people who are talking about how some people behave after taking the loan from you. This one says, I wish they understand or even care how the lender feels when they don't pay back. And for some people, it is difficult for me to say that they actually care and they're just having a financial difficulty themselves, because how do you borrow money from someone and then you promise them fervently that, oh, I'm going to pay you back, I'm going to pay you back as soon as possible, I'm expecting something at this time and I'll give it to you, and then when the when the payment time comes, you pretend like it's never happened, you don't mention it, you don't message them, you don't say anything at all. This one is a clear example of someone who does not care about the relationship they have with this person, because this is describing a childhood friend, not just a friend that was picked up at the university level or from a workplace, someone you have known since you were young and who you should relatively say, oh, I know this person very well and I trust them so much. And this person takes your money and when you remind them, they tell you that they don't even remember taking the money. I mean, I don't think the money that was lent in the situation was a small amount. This person is based in Nigeria and lends the money out in USD. So knowing the conversion rates, in spite of whichever time or which year it was, the conversion rate will still be quite high. And for the person to not acknowledge that they took that much money from you and to even go ahead to tell another friend that they are never going to pay back the money because the economy is hard. I mean, you were in the same economy when you borrowed. You probably borrowed because the economy wasn't favoring you. So why do you have to now say the economy is so hard? So you're just deciding that you're not going to pay the money back. And going to this person's family isn't really going to do much for you because they didn't take the money. Even if they are aware of it, they probably don't have the money to pay back. Or this might be a behavior that this person puts on often. So there might be other people that they are already owing. So you bring in your case, it's like just another drop in the big ocean of lenders that are after them, and they don't really care to prioritize you and getting your money back for you. And because they also know the behavior of this person, it's almost like you have become the fool who trusted them enough to give them money. All the same, I'm glad that she got her money back, even though it's after 3 years. And gosh, the amount of interest she might have lost on it, and they're not even going to pay back with interest or any kind of cost. Like, it's awful. Seriously, this one is even funny for me. Like, how do you respond with a screenshot of your bank account when somebody is asking for the money that they lent you that you agreed you're going to pay back? You probably didn't send them a screenshot of your bank account when you were asking for the money. So right now they're asking for it back. You send them a screenshot for what? Like, are they supposed to print that and sell it for the money back, or they're supposed to use it for their wallpaper as a reminder that they shouldn't lend money to you again? Like, at least say something. Say, oh, I was expecting money, but due to some issues, I cannot pay you back. But sending just your bank statement and not saying anything at all, that is so disrespectful. Like, some people are just so difficult to deal with. And there are some people who actually say they have encountered friends or family members that would go to the length of insulting them over their own money. Imagine, like, I don't know how I would feel if someone insulted me because I asked for my money back. Like, sure, the situation might be stressing you out, but for you to have the courage, the audacity to call me names or insult me because I am asking for my money back is just something else. And why would you tell someone that what are we friends for when they are asking for their money back? You didn't say give me money and they gave it to you. You said lend me money. That's this thing I have in my mind. I can give you money if I have the money to spare, but if you ask me, the moment you ask me to loan you money, there is no way I am going to be so willing to give that money away to you as a gift, because in my mind it is a loan and we had an agreement. You are going to pay it back and I expect to get it back. And I will not in any way allow you to guilt trip me with our friendship to give up on that money, no matter the amount or no matter how much more money I have acquired over the time. Though sometimes you can't really pursue it, you have to let it go. It's rather unfortunate. Now, this tweet or X talks about lending a friend 50K sometime in 2022. I don't know how much 50K is in terms of USD, but even if it's not such a huge amount of money, that was in 2022. And I'm assuming that since that time, we are in 2024 now. So 2 years going on 3 years, this person has not gotten their money back. And yet the person who borrowed the money has used three whole different iPhones, probably a higher version on in each year. And they have recently bought an Apple laptop. I don't own an Apple laptop or something, but those things are very expensive. And 50K compared to the cost of an iPhone or an Apple laptop is going to be like chicken change. So why are you keeping that money? Why are you not paying it back to your friend and just leaving them to feel so frustrated and to watch you have these luxuries that they might not even be able to afford. It's just so irresponsible and ungrateful to treat a friend like that. At this point, you don't have to call people like this your friend. They're not your friend. They can't be your friend. Like they were just, they never set out to treat you as a friend. They just want to take advantage of you. For this one, I don't even know who to blame for being irresponsible, because being so bold as to take a loan from, not even from your personal money, but from a loan app or a loan institution for a friend, is just like very risky. It's a very risky thing to do. You don't have to take loans from a bank or a microfinance for a friend, much less a friend who is owing another institution. Them letting you know that they are borrowing the money from you because they are owing is enough of a red flag. That should be the first thing you think about. Because if they cannot pay an institution which probably even has access to their bank statement, has access to their bank account or their mobile money account, and you, who is just their friend, you don't have access to anything, no bank accounts, no momo, no property, like you have no collateral at all, and you are putting your neck on the line to take a loan from an institution for them, is just crazy. And it doesn't show, should I say, it doesn't show that you care for yourself. Because if you value your peace of mind, what kind of relationship do you have to trust that person to pay you back? I mean, are you like, do you think that you are honestly more important than the bank, that they value their relationship with you more than the bank? Because some people do believe that, I mean, they know that their friends will maybe take money from a banking institution, a bank cannot pay back, but they'll pay them back if they loan them. So maybe, I don't know. It's difficult for me to imagine trusting someone like this to pay you back your money. Sorry for her though. This one isn't really relating to giving a loan, but to not pay someone for work that they have done is just pure wickedness, because probably that is the work that they do to feed themselves, and for you to benefit from them, get payment from maybe the final consumer, and for you to just decide that you're not going to pay them for the work that they did for you, is it's just wickedness. I don't know what else to call it. It's just people, I don't know, people are so mean and inconsiderate. It's crazy. For you to loan someone money and have to beg and apologize before they pay you back is just wild. Like, I loaned you money and please, please, I beg you, pay me back my money. I mean, I think there are some people, they will make you cry. Like, you will cry before you get your money back. And it's difficult. Isn't that these people, isn't that they don't feel anything, like they're psychopaths or sociopaths, whichever one? Like, don't you feel that you're frustrating someone by keeping the money you say you pay them back? Because probably they have plans for the money, and now you have to put their plans off or have to find a different way of doing their thing. And it's just frustrating, seriously, to beg. So if you're not ready to beg someone to pay you back your money, probably don't give it to them at all. Like, and what is this then with the silent treatment after borrowing money? For some people, the frustration isn't even in you not being able to pay back, it's the silence. Like, say something, communicate, talk to me, let me know that I can't pay you back. I spent the money. I use it to buy a new dress, or I just say something. But for you to just go radio silent and pretend like it's never happened, and maybe, yeah, some will even go so far as to chat you normally, like we are still on talking terms, we are talking, we are having a conversation, we are just, I'm telling you about something that happened at work yesterday, but for me to mention the money that you loaned me, not going to happen. It's just, you lent me money. Okay. And telling people to forget about the money they have given to people as loan right away, and to never expect to get it back, because their friends and family have developed a habit of not paying back. It's just wrong. And this is an issue of how you relate to people, what you have taught them, how you have taught them to treat you. Because if you have ever in the past made it clear that you do not expect them to treat you this way, or that you do not tolerate, if they do not pay you back and you still continue lending to them, then they know that, oh, I can decide to take this person's money and not pay back, and it's going to be okay. We are going to be cool. I can take their money again and they will still give it to me. So you need to make your stance clear. Maybe you haven't done it in the past. Maybe you feel a lot of anxiety telling your friends no, you don't know how to do it. But it's something you can start doing. We learn by doing a lot of things. Many people have to actually more or less fight a certain part of their personality to be able to go ahead and do certain things in life. And sooner or later, that is going to happen. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to set your boundaries and let people know that they cannot treat you anyhow. And as for taking a post-dated check, what happens if you take that check to the bank and the account is empty? People can move banks. They can create a different bank account. People have more than one bank account. I mean, they are broke, but they still have more than one bank account. And if they give you a check from one of those bank accounts, are you going to say, okay, I want to see the amount of money in that bank account before you give me the check? Even if they do, they are borrowing money from you. So there's nothing to show that that money is going to still be in the account when you go back for it. So it's not a foolproof way to get your money back, to guarantee your money back. And as for taking collateral, I don't know, it's just so awkward. It's even more awkward than the person asking you for money. Because are you going to say because someone is asking me for $10 or $100 is a bit much, but $20, so I want to take your suitcase or your laptop as collateral? What if the person needs that thing to work? Like they need that thing to make money. How is that collateral thing going to work now? As for this person, like, boss, you are borrowing money from a fetish. Like, how brave are you? You are so brave as to first approach them to give you money and then you go ahead to not pay back. Anyway, I'm glad that he knows that there's no post-dated check going to work here. He's just going straight to the shrine. The gods, the gods cannot be blamed for what happens. I fully agree with this point that borrowing money with no intent whatsoever to pay back is stealing, because if you're not stealing, then what else could it possibly be? You have every intent of taking this person's money and no intent whatsoever to give it back to them. You're being a thief. You're like, I don't even know if we should call you a white collar thief. It's like you're a pink one because you're coming with your friendship or the angle of your relationship and the trust they have in you to abuse it. It just shows how, from the onset, your whole intent was to take advantage of them. And who buys things they cannot afford and actually ask someone to cover their bill? I've not heard of that before. It's very strange to me. Thank you for staying with me this long, and I will see you in another video soon. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for staying with me this far, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Bye. Thank you for staying with me this far, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Or not. Thank Thank you for staying with me this far, and I hope to see you in another video soon.